Mitravan Bandhu, welcome to South Asia Maps Education Channel. This is your presenter, Dr. J. Reddy. South Asia Channel, South Asia Maps brings you education-related topics of geography, history, heritage, culture, and we have a special playlist in our channel called Human Ecology, and this is the part 79 of Human Ecology, Human Predicament. Today we are going to discuss about very interesting aspect called ecological success. Ecosystems, natural ecosystems. You can see a natural ecosystem here, and you can see also an ecosystem called a contrieved ecosystem, agricultural land. And if you are first to my presentation, and I have meticulously made presentations on varied topics, round about nearly 300 or so are present at my education channel, South Asia Maps J. Reddy. You can go there and explore them further. So, natural ecosystem, contrieved ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? Ecosystem is nothing but a combination of flora and fauna. Flora means plants, fauna means animals. Here you can see a natural ecosystem. It maintains by itself. Let's say no human beings are there. So you see some deers there, some plants there. So it's an interaction, a complicated web of interaction between flora and fauna. That is the biotic systems, animal kingdoms and plant kingdoms with abiotic components such as the soil and water and climate, weather, everything in the habitat. So ecosystem, there is an interaction between the biological organisms, biotic things to abiotic things, and also interaction among the biotic things himself, competition, predation, and so on. This is a natural ecosystems because the nature maintains it. Millions of years back it started, continued process. What is the artificial ecosystem, contrieved ecosystem? Before that we discussed a process called a taking over. Taking over is an ecological process where taking over means humans will take over the land. That means humans increase the opportunity for their own species population by reducing the opportunities, eliminating competitors, flora and fauna. That means humans took over the virgin forest, virgin lands, the river waters, water aquifers, and humans benefit, but at the cost of other competitors. This what in agriculture we benefit, our population increases. Say previously there is a natural ecosystem, wilderness, there very few people, hunters and gatherers lived there. Take for example 10 people and arbitrarily in this around about 10 square kilometers, 3.3. Then when they cleared most of the forest and they started agriculture farms, settled agriculturalists, you can make 500 people live in that same area. If you even further go to drawdown, that means start drilling down aquifers, minerals, metals, fossil fuels, you can mechanized agriculture, industrial agriculture, even you can make more people live. That means we increase opportunity for ourselves. So wilderness, natural ecosystems, here contrieved ecosystems, artificial ecosystems. Why artificial ecosystems means? Suppose if you plant corn or maize or rice and wheat and just go away, come back after 1 month or so, most of the land will be occupied by the weeds. You see, it is no more wheat or no more maize, it will be half of the plants will be the weeds. That's what is called That means the nature is trying to take over that process. That means ecological succession. That means you contribute this against the natural principles. If you don't do anything else, keep quiet after sowing the maize, 1 or 2 months later, entire field will be again almost like wilderness. That means there was a wilderness to begin with, and we started agriculture farm and we start sowing the crops, and if you don't do again this agricultural land, again we become a wilderness, natural ecosystem. In that sense, agriculture is a contrived ecosystem. That's why in agriculture we should always be putting more efforts. If you don't put any effort, it will be entropy. Entropy means disorder. By nature is a disorder, ecological way of taking over and wilderness formation. In order to prevent it, countermand it, you need to put extra energy, extra effort. What do we put extra energy, extra effort in agriculture means we have to do weeding, take away unwanted plants. In a sense, our competitors, we designated them unwanted because they are our competitors come in the way of our food resources. That is anthropocentric view. That means human point of view, not ecocentric view. Ecocentric view is very, very different. That's what we need to keep in. So in order to prevent disorder, entropy, you need to do weeding, remove them, or even there are a lot of insect competitors. Insects eat the maize plants or soybean plants. So you need to you need to invent, you need to do pest control essentially. That you can do fungicides or herbicides, bactericides and weedicides, all those things. So this is very important. Today, we have nearly 14 million square kilometers of the planet Earth under agricultural land. As our population now has increased tremendously, there are nearly around about 8 billion population on the planet Earth today. This again become more important, in fact more demanding, we can say, a sort of stressful. Today there are a lot of research, invention to increase the food production. This happens because we have countermanded, resisted the natural ecological systems, ecological successions. We want our own way, and contrived systems we have built, that is the agricultural lands and farmlands. So wilderness too, contrived ecosystems, and if you do not do anything back and to keep these contrived systems, the agricultural land, farmland, arable land, they revert back. Nature will take it over to wilderness. Even that we'll see everywhere. Suppose you build the road and you don't maintain it, after there will be some breaks in the road, small plants coming. Eventually, if you come back after 100 years, it will be again the natural ecosystem, Mother Earth, nature takes over. So that's a very important thing you can keep in mind. So this is the planet Earth. In this planet Earth today, we have around about 150 million square kilometers of land area. If Egypt is exactly 1 million square kilometers here, you can fit 150 countries on the planet Earth. The most important ones you can keep is United States is 10 million, Canada is almost, there is also 10 million, and mainland China is also 10 million. Europe is also 10 million, that is west of Ural Mountains. So 10 million, 10 million, 10 million like that. And how much farmland we have today on the planet Earth is, remember Australia. Australia is a 7 million. You double the Australian area, 7 plus 7 becomes 14. That is 14 million square kilometers of the farmland we have in the planet Earth today. We are all trying seriously to maintain this contrived artificial ecosystems. Thank you very much. That's What about that's the 79 part wilderness to agriculture farm, contrieved ecological succession done by the human beings. This is the part to 79 in this ecological series I talked about. And before we talked about the contribution of many provinces of India to Indian population. Every year India contributes around about 10 out of 80 millions, 10 or 12 roundabout out of 80 millions to the planet Earth population. Some of the provinces we discussed about, UP contributes 3.3, and before that, out of 80 million population, net population added to that, India contributes 10, and China 5, Nigeria 5, so on. We discussed about that population. Then we discussed most of the Dr. Cotton's books, concepts, so carrying capacity, taking over, drawing down the new world, old world. That gives you a broader concept. It's a very, very important, because if once you are familiar with these concepts like detritus ecosystems, drawing down and taking over, you can overlay those things in the modern socio-political economic events, and you will get a very broader and deeper idea, and in a sense, shakers and movers. When you see a movie like a Sholay, you really like the movie, the actors, but what actually happened behind is the directors, the script writers, choreographers, the planners, who manipulate these characters, the actors in the front, so that you see. That's what the ecology is. So our series represent these ecological perspectives, mostly taken from Dr. Cotton's work, and hope this is excuse me, give you a new perspective, and you will enjoy the series and understand the modern socio-political economic events from the ecological perspective. Once you start looking at these series more seriously, these presentations, and go back and understand, and I will try to put more input so that you will get a very good ecological perspective of the contemporary social political events. Mitra and Bandhum, if you like these presentations, I really appreciate you take time to subscribe the channel and bring it to the notice of your friends, and I will love to hear your inputs or any comments or any things you want to say on these presentations. See you later in other presentations. Dr. J. Reddy, South Asia Maps, Intellectual Kshatriya Channel, Education Channel.